obviously playing a very good team in Philadelphia Union. You can see why they've done so well. They're in a lot of ways built for MLS. They're extremely athletic. They're organized. They're good at disrupting teams with pressure. They don't mind going direct if they need to. They're dangerous on set pieces. So you can see, why they've been successful. We knew it'd be a tight game. We knew it'd be a tough game. Really proud of my group. I thought we were patient today. We could have, similar to Cincinnati, we could have let the game kind of fizzle out, but we weren't going to let that happen. We talked about that at halftime. And I thought that was the difference, the start of the second half. I thought we took the game over, put them on the back foot. And, I thought the second half, every single guy across the board played well, including the substitutions, the subs that came in the game. And you need that to win against a team like Philly. In these type of games, it's going to be tight. And oftentimes, two good teams, it's going to be one goal either way. And I'm real proud of our guys that we were able to find that bit of quality through Lucas Zelarayan. Obviously, great having him back. Great for him to get another goal and another clean sheet as well for our group. So real proud of that as well.
Thank you, Caleb. And for our first question, we'll go to Jacob Myers. Jacob, go ahead.
Caleb, at the end of the first half, the attack was coming together. Then you're able to start off the second half in pretty much the same way. At halftime, I believe you talked about playing quicker, being more patient. Why did that just make such a difference after there were a few scares in the first 30 minutes?
Yeah, well, two reasons you want to be patient is against a team like Philadelphia, they're good in transition. So if we're not patient, then we're giving them counterattacks. The second reason is, to open up, a team that plays very narrow, similar to Cincinnati, although Cincinnati plays a different system, but same idea. They try to take away, the center channel, and a lot of teams can't, beat you wide, and so that's what they bank on. And I thought we were very good at shifting their diamond side to side and using our outside backs to circulate the ball and then pull their midfielders out to then play through the lines. And if you saw second half, I thought actually Yunus Mukhtar did a really good job of finding spaces and then cycling it to Lucas in between the lines. And that's how we were able to score, the goal. And I thought we found Darlington and Artur a lot more today, which is something we worked on in training, making sure that teams can't just sit deep and compress the space, in around Lucas and Pedro and Yunus. And I thought we found the right balance of playing through Darlington and Artur to kind of pull the midfield out, and then at the right times play into the layers to Lucas, Yunus, and Pedro. And we had some other really good chances that should have been goals, and I thought we had, more than one goal in there. But sometimes you don't score more than one, and we'll take it.
Thank you, Caleb. Again, if you like a question, click raise hand. We also have Lucas and Darlington available. Just make sure you let us know who the question is addressed to. First question, or next question, goes to Ori.
Caleb, I'm kind of curious what you thought of and some of your players thought of with now that there was a small group of, friends and family in the stands, if that gave them that extra zip of energy in the game now that you had people watching you live for the first time in 6 months.
Yeah, I think every little bit helps. We have a team of guys that, and I love this in my teams, that have wives and kids. And, I always say it's a good sign when your players start getting married and have babies, because they want to stay and they love the club and they trust the club. And that's what we want. We want to, once we get a good group together, we want to keep it together. And, I know a lot of guys are family guys on this team, and, I really I'm a family guy as well. So I think it's very important that you find balance in this. We work very hard at what we do. It's not a 9-to-5 job. It's a long journey every season, and it is important that you kind of smell the roses a little bit outside of the football and spend time with your family, and your family can share in it. It's always, I think, a help.
Thank you, Caleb. Up next, we go to Pat Murphy.
Caleb, you discussed what the Union bring, what they do well. Was this your guys' biggest test of this season so far?
Yeah, this was the best team we played. You see, we're a very good passing team. We pride ourselves on that. That's part of our DNA. We want to be good with the ball. We want to disorganize the opponent with the ball. And we want to have control with the ball. And, Philadelphia is extremely athletic. And there were times in the first half where we let them get tight to us. And, they're very good in 1v1 duels. They close space quick, and they're strong. And, there were times we just needed to play quicker and move the ball. But I thought we still had a lot of control in the match. I didn't think they really pressed us and disrupt our passing game all too much, which is a credit to our spacing and the fact that basically we've got 11 guys that can keep the ball. 11 guys. There's not a player in our group that isn't good with the ball, including the goalkeeper, all the way on up through our team. So if you use 11 guys to keep the ball and spread the pitch, it's difficult, as you saw, to kind of keep us off the ball. But we have to make sure that, we break lines and we penetrate and create chances as well. And I thought today we found the right balance of possession and penetration. And I thought there were a couple crosses we should have scored on. Pedro had a great chance, just missed. Lucas had one, he almost got off where he cut back to the left. And then first half, obviously, Lucas had one top of the box. So Lucas should always be in moments to score if we're playing the game we should play, and he was. And, he'll be able to score goals in our system, as you've seen.
Thanks, Caleb. Up next, we go to Patrick Murphy.
Lucas, we asked you the other day about getting back into the game and how you were feeling. I'm just curious how you felt tonight and if you could talk to us about the goal.
Lucas, la pregunta fue, el otro día hablaste de cómo te sentías tras el último partido, que aún se estás recuperando. ¿Puedes hablar un poco de cómo te sientes ahora, especialmente tras haber anotado un gol y ayudado al equipo a ganar?
Bien, la verdad que me sentí mucho mejor, tanto físicamente como futbolísticamente. Y bueno, nada, estoy muy feliz por el gol, por ayudar al equipo a poder tener una victoria en casa. Sé que es muy importante para nosotros, enfrentamos a un gran rival. Entonces, feliz por estar de vuelta, por haberme sentido muy bien, más que nada físicamente. Así que bueno, de aquí en adelante trataremos de seguir mejorando.
Good. I feel very good. Physically, I feel good in a footballistic sense. I'm happy that we were able to get the win at home against a very good rival. I'm happy to return. I'm happy to be feeling the 100 again. And from now on, we're just going to continue to train and keep getting better. For our next question, we go to Jacob Myers.
Darlington, this is the 7th shutout of the season for you guys. Obviously, there were some nervous moments on the corner kicks. Can you talk me through those? And then in the second half, you guys allowed just 3 shots. What was a big difference you felt like there in the second half?
I think we knew that was a big moment for them, set pieces. They have some big boys, so we talked about it at halftime, buckling down those set pieces, and I thought we did a better job of that. And then, repeat the second part of your question?
Yeah, you guys just allowed 3 shots in the second half. I know they didn't have any corner kicks, but especially late, they didn't really have a lot of great chances. What were just some adjustments you made?
No, I think just trying to trying to stay compact. That's one thing we talked about at halftime as well, staying compact defensively. Making sure that we doubled down when we could, rotated well as a team. I thought we did that and limited their chances. And of course, the back four again, I said that with the goalkeeper. So they've been doing a great job, and hopefully the midfield and the second group will continue to help the back four to do their job.
Thank you, Darlington. We'll still have time for a few more questions. We'll go next with Ori, followed by Stu.
This question is for Darlington, kind of echoing a little bit what I asked to Caleb, but sort of from a different perspective. Darlington, if your family was in the stands, were you able to hear them in the crowd since there was only 250 people there? And I guess how did it make you feel to have people be watching you live for the first time in so long, especially if your family was there?
Yeah, you can hear everything. So I think it's good having family and friends there at the game. You know, obviously, we play some games without them. You know, and professionals, we get along and then we move along with it. So, but having them there, I think, is just that extra bonus. You know, we play for them, play this game for them, make a living and support them. So their support is appreciated, and hopefully we can get more people in the stadium.
Thanks, Darlington. Up next, Stu. Stu, you can go ahead with your question.
On mute.
All right, we'll return. Up next, we'll go to Pat Murphy.
Caleb, I asked you a couple times last year about number of touches ideal for Giassi, but I think those usually came after losses. So after a win tonight, do you feel like he was involved enough in terms of touches on the ball, or is this about right? Do you need him to be more involved? What's kind of your analysis of how much he was involved when on the ball specifically?
Yeah, I thought Giassi actually had a good game. I think it was his type of game. He had a couple nice moments in transition first half where he ran in behind and set up a chance. He did hold the ball when we needed him to, but, his game is predicated on getting on the end of crosses typically, and he had two that were an inch or two off. And so if he scores one of those two, you'd say he's a 7 out of 10 today, and so I thought he had a good game, and I'm confident he will get back on the score sheet. I thought he just missed a couple of those crosses in the second half.
Thanks, Caleb. Up next, we go to Jacob Myers, and if you would like one of the final questions, click raise hand.
Caleb, you talked about Lucas and Eunice trying to, needing to regain the rhythm, getting more games after coming back from injury. There are a few touches that seemed off for Lucas in the first half, but obviously he stuck with it, had that shot that in the first half that really seemed to get things going. What does it say about a player who it doesn't seem like he gets too frustrated and just keeps sticking with it, knowing he's going to get more opportunities?
Yeah, I mean, I like smart soccer players, smart technical soccer players, and I like guys that have an IQ, and can read the game. We give them certainly a structure. We give them ideas based on our scouting of how we can rotate the ball and, some patterns of how we can create chances. But I don't believe you want to overdo that, because when you have really good players like Darlington Nagbe and Lucas Zelarayan and Yunus Mukhtar and Pedro Santos, you don't want to stifle their instincts, because inside the lines, those instincts help us create chances, and that creativity and imagination at times. So my coaching philosophy is to try to create enough structure and freedom to where quality players can play. And, to do that, you need time, and you need rhythm, and you need continuity, so that those little connections and that understanding and that chemistry, kind of flourishes. And so you saw I played the exact same group 2 games in a row. And even at halftime, I stuck with the group, because I just have a lot of confidence and belief and trust that these guys will find solutions to win games.
Thanks, Caleb. Next, we'll go to Stu. Stu, go ahead.
Sorry about that last time. Coach, talk about Aloy Room and how he's come back for you. Well, he made some incredible saves tonight.
Yeah, he didn't have a ton to do today, actually, on this night, in my opinion. But that's good. It usually means we're defending well. And, I think he'll always want a game where he has less saves than more. But he's very calm and very steady. And he's got a great presence. And he rarely has a mistake when you play through him. So he's an ideal fit in our system on both sides of the ball. And he's a great leader and a great locker room guy as well. So we're real happy to have him in this club.
Thank you, Caleb. Next, we go to Jacob Myers.
Sorry, Carlos, my hand was still, but I'll take this anyway. Darlington, the families announced the starting lineup. I know you talked about them being in the crowd, but did you guys know that was happening? What was the reaction on the field when you saw that?
We didn't know that was going to happen, so that was pretty cool to see. I didn't see someone told me to look at the board. Our families were on there, so that was cool to see them on there. I appreciate it. I'm sure all the guys appreciate it, and hopefully that's something we can keep doing. That was cool, though.
Thanks, Darlington. And then for our final question, we'll go to Ori.
Caleb, now that you guys sort of had a good offensive flow in this game against Philadelphia, and Cincinnati is coming up next on Sunday, they just got another 0-0 draw at home. Do you feel like you have a little bit more of an idea of the recipe in order to break down that park the bus for the third time you play these guys?
Yeah, it's a double bus, actually. And it's like I said, I told the op after the game, I'm like, it's incredible. I've not in this league seen a team so difficult to break down. I don't think they'll score many goals, but if you're that committed to not giving up goals, then you're probably going to not give up goals. So our goal in this game is to obviously pick the lock. We got to pick the Opstom lock here and try to find a way to, get a goal. And, hopefully they'll open up and maybe try to score a goal as well.
Thanks, Caleb. And that's going to conclude tonight's post-match availability. Thank you, Caleb, and thank you, Darlington.